Happy New Year, YouTube. It's me, Kirby, and you're watching another video from Kirby Q. The last video I put out was about me trying to cure some turkey neck bones, and the video ended kind of abruptly because I thought I had the final segment recorded, and it turned out that I didn't. And I was supposed to upload that video a couple of weeks ago, but I'm a procrastinator. That's one of my character faults. So, but anyway, here we are today, and I'm going to show you the remainder, the outcome of the turkey necks. And this video, also today, is the second day of January, and so this is going to be our good luck dinner with the collard greens, black eyed peas, fried chicken, rice, and cornbread. So most of that is already done, but I wanted to show you me doing the collard greens using some of the neck bones that I had smoked. And I also used the neck bones for the black eyed peas, which is already done, and you'll see that in the final shoot. But anywho, I just want to share that I just wanted to take this time, first of all, to say Happy New Year to you. I pray that God's blessings be upon you for this year, and that you and your family will experience health and happiness throughout 2022, and that this COVID thing will begin to decline. All right. With that being said, I already got stuff on the other counter situated so I can begin explaining to you what I'm going to be doing today, and also give you some feedback of my initial attempt at curing turkey neck bones. All right, so let me get the camera situated on the other side of the room so you can see what I'm talking about. All right, now here are the remainder of the smoked turkey neck bones that I have left. I think I had something like 12 neck bones that I had cured. I gave 6 to a friend of mine for him to try to get his feedback on what he thought about them, the other 6 that we had. And so I used some for the black eyed peas, as I shared with you earlier. And with that batch, I have some reserve to use for the collard greens. What I did was that I used my slow cooker to just go ahead and render the meat off of the bones and get some of the flavor of the meat into the liquid that I'm going to use to season the collard greens. And I reserved some of that right here. And I also got some onions chopped up, and I have about 6 tablespoons of butter that's melting off to the side. And I'm going to add some olive oil to that shortly to mix it up. Now, why I felt that my initial brine, my initial attempt at curing and brining, curing, I think I'm gonna do my take on that. I know Dash from Over Still Drum Smokers, he brought that up on one of his chats one night as to what is curing and what is brining. I think as Harry Sue said, everything in barbecue is a fist fight, can become a fist fight. But I think I have a different perspective on it, and I'll share mine probably in another video. But anywho, even though this was done with a wet cure, I did not like the color that the neck bones had taken on, and that's really nothing but the result of I had ran a dirty fire that day, and so a lot of if I touch it, and if I bring my finger pretty up closer, you can see there's still a lot of grease that comes off, the smut that comes off from it. I ran a dirty fire that day, so I think that was one of the reasons. That's one of the reasons why I had considered it failed. And trying some of the turkey butts that I had brined, they were real salty, so I assumed that all of it was salty. But it turned out that when I made when I made the first batch of liquid for the black eyed peas, and I tasted it, the liquid didn't turn out salty at all. And I was using chicken broth to go with it. And so I would figure with the chicken broth and with that, it should have been super salty, but it did not. It was perfect. The meat was nice, and the meat had good flavor to it that what I had sampled for. So it really wasn't a big fail, just that I ran a dirty fire and a lot of soot attached to the protein. And so that's what kind of had turned me off from it. So I think the next time I just got to make sure I run a cleaner fire. Now I'm going to try this again, actually just applying the cure directly to the meat and not soaking it and letting the moisture draw out that way to see what the difference will be. All right, so that's that for the neck bones. My explanation for that. I'm trying to think, is there anything else before we move on to the next step? And this is just going to be mostly me dialoguing most of the time. But all right, so like I said, these are some that's reserved. This came out of the it's more like a gelatin. Let me get a spoon. But this is what I'm going to use in my collard greens. All right, I'm going to heat it up, and when the collard greens get to the next stage, I'm going to go ahead and pour them in there, and then add just a little bit of water and render them as they render down. All right, so let's get started. I'm going to take you over to the stove. All right, to my butter, I'm going to add some olive oil. I'm just going to make it a full 1/8. It's going to be an 1/8 cup of olive oil. To 6 tablespoons of butter. And I'm just going to go ahead and get that incorporated. Trying to make sure it's still in the shot. All right, it is. To that, I'm going to add 1 whole onion. This is 2 halves of one red onion, 1 white onion. I had 2 halves of the onion, so I just chopped them up so I can use the rest of it. I'm going to saute that in the butter and olive oil for a little bit, and I'll be back once these are ready. Alright, so stay tuned, YouTube. Alright, YouTube, now the onions have reached the desired tenderness that I want them to be. So I'm going to take my collard greens, which my wife has washed for me, and start adding them to this. And these were some bad collard greens, and the only thing I do not like about using those pre-packaged collard green and kale is, if you can see it, is this. You always get these big chunks of stem in it, which I don't like. But I'll go ahead and add it this time because this is probably going to shrink down to be enough just for 4 people. It's only me and my wife, so that's going to be about 2 servings for us today and tomorrow. So I'm going to just add that much right there. I'm going to go ahead and stir this, let it saute down a little, get it sauteed a little. Get it mixed up with some of the onions and olive oil and butter. Alright, so I'm going to let this cook down just for a little bit. Once that happens, I'll be right back, alright? Alright, YouTube, adjust this camera again. What I'm going to do, just to add a little bit of red pepper flakes, just to add a little kick to them. That's enough. Joanne don't like stuff too spicy, so I have just a little bit of kick to it. Make sure to stay in the frame. Go ahead and give it a good stir. Okay, and as you can see, those have cooked down a whole lot, so I'm going to go ahead and add the remainder collard greens that I have. process. All right, so I'll be back in just a bit for the next step. All right, YouTube. Let's remove our lid. And go ahead and begin to add some of this smoked turkey meat to it. And just pour it in. I don't want too much. Okay, save the rest of that. Okay, go ahead and get that mixed in. Put it inside there. And then at this point, I'm going to add a little bit of chicken broth just to cover the greens. Then I'm just going to let it simmer until it's at my desired temperature. That may be 30 minutes, that may be 45 minutes, maybe another hour. I don't know. Play it by ear. So, I'm going to go ahead and just cover this. Some chicken broth. Hold on, I gotta get one other thing. I'm going to add some bold and beefy to it. Alright. And like I said, I'm just going to let it simmer from this point on until it get to my desired tenderness. And so I'll be back once it's at that point. Alright, YouTube. Stay tuned. YouTube, I'm going to add some vinegar to it. I'm sorry. And I'm just going to add 1/8 of a cup. Just add a little acidity to it. And now I'm going to let it simmer for however long. Alright. So I got my spice, I got my turkey, I got my little bit of bite from the apple cider. I think these should turn out the way I want them. Alright, so I'll be back at the end of the final product. Alright, YouTube, it's been about 45 minutes. Let's see where we are at. This is how we're looking. So far, looks pretty good. Let me go and give a sample taste, just to make sure they are right. They're as tender as I want them to be. Get a piece of turkey. All right. All right. Okay. I think these are about ready to go. These are about ready to go. All right. Hold on YouTube. I'm gonna call the missus in and see if she wants to give an on-screen taste test. All right, stay tuned. All right, YouTube. That's Joanne. Hi. She's gonna go ahead and try these collard greens, and she's gonna give her her feedback on what she think of. I'm gonna try to pull more out of her. All she normally should say, "Yeah, it's good." Yeah, it's good. So I'm going to try to draw a little bit more out of her so she can be a little bit more descriptive of how they turned out. Okay, go ahead and give the collard greens a try, baby. Lift the bowl up so they can see it in the green. What's a yumption?
I don't know.
But-
That's delicious.
Okay, is it too spicy?
No.
Okay, now put a little bit of red pepper flake in it because I like a little bit of heat. But sometimes she said, "Oh, something burning my mouth," and then sometimes she don't. So apparently I didn't add too many red pepper flakes. So to me, it had just the right amount of kick. What about acidity? I put some apple cider vinegar in it. How do you taste like the acidity to it? Okay,
No.
so she don't detect the acidity from the vinegar, but to me, I can taste it. So my palate's a little bit more refined than hers. But anyway, let me come in the frame. I hope I can be in frame.
Yeah, delicious, y'all.
Do y'all see me? I hope y'all see me. But anyway, so that's my follow-up video to the cured turkey neck bones. I used it in the collard greens as I shared before. I used it in the black eyed peas that we're going to have on today for our New Year's Day. I think it's the day after New Year's Day, but we're going to have that for our dinner. So she's going to get another helping of collard greens with the black eyed peas and rice, and I'll get her the fried chicken, and we'll get ready to eat. Once again, Happy New Year, everybody. I hope you have a blessed year. Thank you for watching. I'll be uploading another video soon, so be on the lookout for that. All right, gentlemen, ladies, light your pits, fire for effect. Be sure to subscribe, hit that like button, share with your friends. Thank you.
God bless.
All right.